So, my movement quiz assessment here, I created this because I was getting so sick and tired of seeing all these posts on the three best exercises for your back, or the only exercise you need to do, or the one muscle you're not working, or this is dangerous, or you shouldn't do this, or you should do that. It's fucking overwhelming. Like, I do this for a living, this is my job. And like, I don't want to see all this shit. Like, it's just, if you don't know what's going on, I could easily see how someone would run into a paralysis by analysis and just have no idea what the fuck to do. Because, like, keep in mind, just saying back pain, it's ambiguous. Like, things or exercises that help certain types of back pain can make other types of back pain worse. And if you don't know what you're trying to fix in the first place, like, that's a great way to fucking have the best intention and then make your back pain worse. It's like taking the wrong medication. So instead of just guessing or playing Russian roulette and having this high likelihood you could actually make your pain worse, let's fucking assess it so we can figure out what we're supposed to be doing or trying to fix in the first place. So all these exercises, all these posts that everyone keeps making, that's step 2 and 3 in the process. Let's pull it back to step 1 and figure out what the fuck we're supposed to be fixing here. So that's where this movement quiz came into, like, why I made it. And I've got a few different variations of it, from simple to more complex. This is the most simple variation here. And keep in mind with this, guys, as you're going through this, I just want you to choose one thing to fix. One thing and one thing fucking only. All too often people are like, well, my hips are tight, my hamstrings are tight, I've got, I lack external rotation, then my ankles are pretty sticky too. No, just stop. You're going to run into paralysis by analysis. You're going to be trying to fix a million things at once. You're probably not going to be consistent because you've just gone 0 to 100 miles an hour. Like, let's fix one thing. Let's just focus on one thing. That's it. And a lot of the times when we fix that, we'll say our weakest link or that lowest hanging fruit, we fix that one thing we're the worst at here. A lot of times we get these free gains, and it actually fixes our second big limiter, or sometimes even our third. So fix one thing, and then we can reassess. And then if we then have to fix a second thing, then go to your second limiting thing, and so on here. So as you go through these tests, just pick one thing you suck at and fix it. Dedicate 4, 6, 8 weeks, 2 to 3 times a week for whatever the exercise here I recommend, and just commit to it. That's it. And I want you guys to understand here. We'll go through these tests because I'll talk about them a little, see if there's anything I can add to give you guys a little more value. All right. So the anterior power line, this one's pretty straightforward here. We're looking at that hip flexor strength because everyone always says their fucking hip flexors are weak. Let's actually find out if they are. And since we're testing both sides individually, we can see if there's a massive discrepancy from one side to the other there. Not much I'm going to add to that. For these, there we go, there's my face. For these leg raises, right now I'm doing these actively in the video here. And make sure you keep the lock knee here. If you want to also add to this test as you're going through them, grab a rope, grab a band or something like that, and pull your leg up with that band where you're not doing any of the motion. Like, you're completely relaxed. It'd be like me as the clinician there picking up a patient's leg. And then what you can do is you can film yourself, similar angle to this, film yourself, and then compare the active, like done in this video, to the passive range, the one with the band, and you can see if there's a massive discrepancy between those two as well. All right. With the Thomas test here, we're looking at, motherfucker, come on. With the Thomas test here, we're looking at the hips. I don't even know who the hell Thomas was. So something else you guys can pay attention to or look for. So first of all, as we're doing this test, and make sure you unmute these because I'm talking and I tell you things you should be looking for during these tests. But make sure your lower back's on the bench. We're getting the back of the hamstring in contact with the bench. And something to keep in mind, as you're lowering down, if you want to, let's do it on this side. If as you're lowering the leg down, if this knee wants to go straight or actually straightens, that's indicative that you actually have a tight rectus femoris there. So something else to keep in mind. Because a lot of times when we do like couch stretches, for example, the couch stretch might be, no, it's not the intervention. A lot of times when we do couch stretches, we can do a couch stretch to hit the hip flexors, or we can do a couch stretch for the quad. So that would be, you would know then this is a case where I want to do the couch stretch for the quads there. All right. So here we're looking at the Faber test, and Faber is just a clever acronym. So if you can see my mouse right here, that stands for flexion, abduction. So the A and the B is abduction. Then the ER is external rotation there. So that's what we're looking at with these. Testing both sides here. And just so flexion is where we raise the leg up. The abduction is where it goes out to the side. And then crossing the leg over here is technically external rotation. And then lastly, we're looking at, so I look at the, come on, where's my head here? So lastly, we're looking at the inner groin strength. And make sure you're doing these with the knee on the inside of the bench. There's a more advanced variation where you put the foot on the inside of the bench so the lever is longer there. Go with knee on the inside of the bench. A lot of times weak adductors can give us some issues with our back potentially. And if most people's are very deconditioned and haven't trained them, so be aware of that. So this is just one variation of the movement quiz. If you want it, I didn't say this in the beginning of the video, just comment quiz below and I'll send it over to you guys. But this gives you an idea on, just go back up. This will give you an idea on how to start assessing your movement. So then you know what exercises to actually employ, as opposed to right now, you're just kind of throwing stuff at the wall and hoping something sticks.